Hey, hey, hey. It's the auntie you didn't know you needed. How's everybody doing? Have you missed me? Have you guys missed me? I know I didn't put an announcement in anywhere saying I was going to be live today. Um, and normally some of you guys will inbox me and be like, "Where you at, auntie? Where you at? It's 1 o'clock. Are we having talked to Tamika or something like that?" And so, when folks start asking me, where are you? I'm like, under somebody's skin, I'm sure. Of course, I'm up underneath somebody's skin somewhere. So, of course, because you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So, a lot of times I am doing just that, working on everything I need to work on so that I am ahead of the game. So, for those who don't know me, if this is the first time you are tuning in to talk to Tamika, I'm Tamika Bryant, also known as Auntie Doc. Um, I just got renamed a few times over the past month. Petty Cash, while we were in the Dominican Republic, and all kinds of stuff was going on. So, how y'all doing? Hey Willis. Hey AD. Hi everybody. So I'm jumping on here. I've been, as I call it, in my cocoon during this time of the quarter. I spend a lot of time focusing on content and people, and if I'm doing any coaching on the business, the stuff I have to do to make sure that we're in place for what we need to do for 2022. And so a lot of people will wait until like the week before 2022 and start working on their goals and things like that. And for me, I'm always saying to folks, that's too late in the game to really start tackling that kind of stuff. And so, what I wanted to talk to you today, and you guys can drop anything you want to talk about in there too, because I haven't seen you in a while. But what I do want to talk to you today about is this inflation, because the inflation that's happening, and you guys are all experiencing it. And I sit back and I kind of watch. I hear people talking about gas going up and this going up, and I'm like, if you didn't invest in a Tesla or electric car, what you gonna do? You still got to get to where you got to get. So just pay the darn gas and keep it going. Find something else to complain about. You know what I mean? So, and I can say that because, of course, many of you already know we went out and got the electric cars. We already know where this stuff is going. So again, when you stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, then you are able to put yourself in front of your business so that you don't always have to keep being reactionary. Guys, we already know what's happening with the car. Okay, we already know electric cars, that's where it's going. So let's not wait until everything is now moving toward an electric car to then go say, well, let me go drive one. Let me go test them out. Let me go see how this thing works. Get going now. You already know. Start planning now. Invest in those stocks now. All of those kind of things is where this whole stay ready comes from. But as we look at inflation, guys, and how that, you know, um, should be meaning something to you, is because not only did gas go up, what else went up? Food. I know my food bill has went up, but I'm still going to eat, right? So I'm not going to really complain about that. But everything has went up. We already know supplies for housing has went up. Everything around us is going up. Everything. So my question to you guys is, have you looked at your prices going up also? Meaning your prices for the products and the services that you guys provide. I know I look at mine. I look at mine and I'm looking at 2022 and saying, huh, in 2021 or in 2020, I helped several people add an extra 100,000, in some cases 800,000. You guys hear all those stories, but people have added 100,000, 50,000, 100,000, even over $1 million to their bottom line by working with me and coaching with me and my time. And now that all this inflation is going up, my prices have to go up also because it takes more of my income, more of my time, more of everything because inflation has adjusted all of this. So I want you guys to be thinking about what else is it that you need to do for you and your company as you look at inflation, because none of the other companies have come to you and said, as AD says, restaurants, delivery companies, everybody's adding on charges. No one has come to you and said, well, we'll discount you because you're doing good work and you didn't go up in your prices. No, they just added the amount and kept on going. So as I'm looking here, and I had to stop, and I apologize to some of the folks who were waiting on some merch, but I had to stop us from sending stuff out because everything went up. And then something else that happened in this whole process of this inflation, because some companies, and this is what you got to think about, some companies go, when you guys go into the store, some of you have already realized this. Some companies, they could go into your cereal aisle or something like that. Some companies have taken and decided, we'll keep the prices similar, but we'll provide less product, okay, or less of a service to keep the price around, the same. And some people have just said, I'm going to keep the product the same and I'm just going to increase the price. And that price goes on to the consumer. Guys, you guys, even though you are owners of your businesses, you are still consumers. So you're paying more. So here's the thing, you don't want to wait until the end of 2022 and realize that you're paying more for everything. I'm trying to ship out shirts, for example, or merchandise, and I'm realizing not only did the company say, we got to pay more for the shipping boxes, you got to pay more for the, you know, everything went up, right? The shipping boxes, the materials, the paper, all of that stuff went up. But the United States Postal Service also said, yeah, we went up a couple of cents on some stamps, but we're also going to slow down our service area. So you won't get packages as quickly as you can. So they diminished the service and still went up on the price. Guys, I want you guys to catch that. Catch what the other companies are doing. And if you are a consumer and not using, you the trick here, guys, is that some of you are consumers and entrepreneurs. So you are buying, but you're also selling. And so if your business isn't aligned, that you're making adjustments for the product and the services that you're providing, but you're paying more, don't wait until 2022, the end of 2022, to realize I didn't really make what I thought I was making because I didn't adjust my pricing. I didn't adjust my services. I didn't adjust anything. I just went ahead, paid the more expenses on everything in life. Taxes went up, electricity went up, gas went up, restaurants went up, um, Uber went up, everybody went up but me. So that means my cash is not working as it was working last year. Okay. So I want you guys to pay attention to that and start figuring out right now. Do it now. We're not going to wait until December to then say, let me do an audit of my business. And so I do this on all of the companies that I'm affiliated with or any of those things. What does it cost me to operate? What did it cost me to operate last year? What is it costing me to operate now? And what is it going to cost me to operate next year, knowing that inflation has, impeded what I've been doing? So this is the time to kind of start looking at, well, do my prices need to go up for 2022? Do my prices need to go up now? Um, do I need to change my service? Do I need to bring on more staff? Like, don't wait until you have to go get ready to do something and be reactionary, I'm telling you guys now, it's here. So most people are okay with knowing that there's going to be a price adjustment for the new year, right? Because that's what our psyches are accustomed to. Hey, in the new year, I have a new cost, new, pricing schedule, whatever it is. And for those entrepreneurs who are already out there doing it, this is an awesome time to let all of your clients know there is a cost adjustment coming, and perhaps you want to go ahead and buy what you want to buy now before my prices change. And then go ahead and give at least those customers that have been around and been supporting you a heads up so that they can make some adjustments too. Because I know, like for me, guys, one thing I will always do is at the end of the year, I'm looking for all of the discounts, all of the things that I can buy so I can get all my tax write offs and meet my goals. So I'm calling people and saying, hey, what do you have that you got to get off your shelves or whatever it is? Or are your rates going up? Like, don't hit people in February and then like, oh yeah, well, my rates went up. Other companies can, quickly do that. You may lose some customers doing that. So understand that right now you might have to work with some of your clients and your customers that they are also feeling this inflation. So if you have some of those services that are not like mandatory, I have to have those survival services and things like that. If rent went up $200 for some people, then that affected that person's budget. So they don't have that extra $200 to spend with you, for example, to get, your hair dyed and some other services or your nails, so you have to cut back on some of those things. So guys, the message for today is look at your books, look at your numbers, look at your services, look at your products, and adjust for the inflation like every other company has done. And see if you need to add things on, take things off. What does that need to look like for 2022? That's what big companies are doing. I mean, I'm pretty much finished doing that. That's why I had to sometimes go into my cocoon because I have to get all of that stuff adjusted. I can't wait until January to start doing that. So I will tell you guys now, look out for anything that you wanted to get into, be in, or whatever, whatever. All of those prices have to go up. We have to keep up. The idea of a business is to make money. And if I'm not inflating and having to, pay attention to the inflation and the cost of what's being inflated in my business is going to lose money. And that's not why we're in business. We're not in business to lose money. We're in business to make money. So everybody needs to be leveling up to make sure that their businesses are in the black by the end of 2022. So what else you got going on here? Oh, transit too. Less routes. Let's put this up here so I can see it. Less routes and drivers, but the prices are still the same for customers. If the train or bus is late getting you to school or work, they still expect you to pay and ride. That's right. Guys, this is no this is not fun times for a lot of business owners. But notice how many businesses are closing because they're saying because of the cost of inflation and the cost to keep workers and all these other things, people are having to just close the business because either their customer or the consumer won't pay that extra cost. I'm just telling a lot of you guys that I know have the ability to change some of your costs, change some of your pricing to do so now. Especially all of my small entrepreneurs and the ones who are working on their businesses, and it's just them and maybe one or two other people. You guys can make all those adjustments right now. Get ahead of it, notify all your clients. You might even have to look at payment plan options and other things that are out there, but adjust accordingly. Remember, your job is to stay in business and be profitable. If you're not profitable, then you might as well hang it up and go ahead and make it a hobby. and then go and do something else. Your business is supposed to make business. So it's supposed to make money and make more money. And so don't feel some kind of way about, adjusting the price. I know a lot of times folks are like, "Oh, if you guys don't, if you don't trust your hustle, I can't either." I just am telling folks automatically the price has changed. Hey Linda, how you doing? I said you also always have the best useful helpful tips. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just here to help. For a lot of people who don't know, I've been doing business since I was a kid, and it's always just new levels to your business. You learn one thing, you got to learn how to scale. You learn something else, you're constantly learning. And so, for a lot of small businesses who don't have, coaches and things like that, they miss things that are happening within their own industry because you normally have your head down. So that's why I always tell folks, I'm the auntie you didn't realize you needed in your life, because while you guys have your heads down and you're grinding, my head is normally in the business acumen, just working with business acumens on all kind of businesses. So I can bring to you guys, this is what's happening in the field, this is what's going on, this is what's happening in real estate, all of those kinds of things. Because not only did I do it, I'm on that whole retirement sector, and it's just about doing what I can and helping, coach and provide business advice to folks who, are getting out here. Being an entrepreneur is rough, and it continues to be rough. And so, making sure you have those foundations in place, and all those kind of things. I can tell you guys all day about all the mistakes I made. So, trust me when I tell you, when I'm giving you information about those mistakes, it's because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes. I made enough mistakes for everybody who is here live with us and more. But what I did not do is I'm not going to make the same mistake over and over again. So I've learned, and it has cost me a lot of money to make the mistakes that I've made so that I can teach this. But you'll never catch me making the same mistake twice. So let's see who else has got something going on. What you got? 80 says, he says, I received extra taxes on my restaurant bills to help keep their restaurants open. I was ticked off. Yeah. I'm seeing franchises come in and say, "Hey, we're going up on price," and I'm like, "Hey, like, there's nothing that the businesses can do but pay it. What are we gonna do?" Guys, really think about it. You go to your local store and eggs went up, or milk went up, or bread went up, you're still going to buy it. You're just going to cut from something else, or you're going to get the ingredients and make it yourself. You're going to figure it out. So your customers are going to do the same thing. Now, for you, that's why I'm telling you guys, get ahead of it. Start sending them messages now. This is November. They have a whole 2 months to know and to prepare their budgets that prices are going to be different. Things are going to be different. Things will change. And I tell like all my investors, hey, we already know the number is the number. This investment world is not like it used to be. So if I'm coaching on investing, I'm letting folks know I can't just do what I used to be able to do to get those investments the way I used to do them. It takes a little more time. It takes a little more savvy. It takes a little more of everything. So that price has to go up. And I'm not, and if they don't want to pay it, that's okay. They can go on down the road. But we all know if you're not investing the money that you're making, you're not even playing in the game. Okay. So I want you all, as business owners, entrepreneurs, whether you're working a 9 to 5, whatever it is, to make more money so that you can keep more money, so you can invest more money. Okay, it's not about making more money so you can spend it on frivolous things. It's about making more money so you can invest it. Like, you want to buy money that makes you more money. Okay, because later on in life, trust me when I tell you, you do not want to have the government dictate where you're going to live or what you're going to eat. You don't want that. So let's put that work in now and get it done. And so whoever that was says, hey, raising fees on management services. I can't tell who that is. There's no name on there. That's right. It takes more to manage right now. It takes more of everything. You have more that you got to spend on gas. You have more that you got to spend on technology. Everything has went up. So also another tip for you guys is to lock in any of the contracts that you can to lock in some of your expenses. So if you have any technology or anything like that, go back and look at those contracts and say, hey, I'm willing to stay as a client, but can I lock in this rate for the next 6 months or whatever, so you can make sure that your expenses stay the same while you adjust some of those other things. Okay. So put in that work now, guys. I don't care where you are, what stage. Put in the work now. I don't care if you feel like you can't get up the next morning because you are tired and exhausted because you've been up 8 hours at your first job and then you got to put in 4 hours when you come home. It's going to be worth it. Put the work in now. You don't want to do it later. Trust me when I tell you, I'm in a space that's the later. I started this journey in my 20s. And I sit and talk to, people who started at the same time and who went a different way. And when we match up at this point, they don't have the reserves. They don't have the real estate. They don't have the investments. They worked, but they did just enough to get by, just enough to work that 9 to 5. And now when it's sitting in front of them 30, 25, 30 years later, it's not a good look. So I'm telling you guys now, from your auntie, put the work in now. Whatever it costs, put the work in now. Build those portfolios as quickly as you can so that you can relax and invest later on. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I hope you have a great week. I have been working on creating niche groups. So you guys will see that in 2022 so that everybody's not in one place. It's really hard when you're working on niches to keep everybody in one place. So there is a community for just brokers who are independents. There's a community for just women investors. There's a community for international sales agents. And we're building the team to be able to support all of those things for 2022 because we know people need the support in those businesses. You can't build a business alone and expect it to be successful without you truly having um, a time where you just burn out. Like burnout is real, depression is real. Doing all of these things by yourself eventually is going to run you into a brick wall that some people never recover from. We'll talk about that on a different at a different time and at a different talk to Tamika. But I can tell you from experience and ask me how I know about burnout because I've been there. So I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a fabulous day. Enjoy this week. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.